Alright, so what you're looking at here is a little plastic green army man that I spray painted black and decided I was going to just kind of paint up. Um, you'll see here that I have a few things going on. Uh, the video is going to be sped up at random parts because I just wanted to kind of do this quickly. I had originally intended to just upload the entire video, which was about 30 minutes long, plus an intro video that I filmed separately, but it just came across very Bob Rossy, and there's a lot of downtime, and it's just so much editing that it made a lot more sense to just speed it up and do a commentary track and kind of walk you through what I did. So I kind of learned recently that this process here is being called slap chop by a lot of painters on YouTube. I don't really subscribe to calling it any one thing. This is just something that I've done, like without even knowing it was a thing, because I kind of liked the way it looked and it made sense. So yeah, I laid down a gray dry brush, but it wasn't that dry. It was a little bit wet, and then I did a little bit of white over top of that on the very tippy top, and just sort of top down over the black base coat. So then I've got these army painter paints that are naturally pretty transparent, and so if you add a little bit of water, you get a nice it applies a lot like what these new contrast paints do. The model we're looking at right here, though, I didn't do anything to clean it up. I didn't scrape off any of the mold lines or really look at the flashy bits at all. It's just a plastic green Army Man. It came in one of those bags of 100 that you get at the grocery store. I've had it forever. I have all my old toys from childhood. And just recently I was like, you know what, I bet I could kind of slap some paint on this and make it look pretty cool, so I wanted to try it out. So here you see I did Army Painter's Army Green for the uniform, and then I'm doing Oak Brown for all of the wood bits and the satchels. And yeah, it's just a little bit watered down, nice light application, and it looks decent. I mean, it really brings that what is a very neon green plastic Army Man to life. I have a lot of these guys, different styles that I guess I just picked up over the years. They're all pretty much doing the same stuff. These are World War II soldiers, I think. Then I've got some that are more like Vietnam era with machine guns, a lot of M16s. But I believe these are like M1 Garands. So I decided, I was going to paint it up. When I was finished, I was really happy with it. Here I'm using Grimoire Purple as a base for the skin tone, and then I'm just going to build that up with Barbarian Flesh here in a second. But yeah, what I decided to do was build up a whole rifleman squad. So I'm going to add that as a picture here at the end. You'll be able to see it. The whole squad looks great. I looked up a platoon is 3 rifle squads and then an HQ squad, but I just figured a rifle squad, 12-man would be fine, especially given what I've got in terms of variety for blasted green army men. I mean, it's a lot of weird poses. I don't know. They're not very dynamic. So I tried to stick with the army men that have the M1 Garands. There's basically this upright model standing up, and there's one that's kneeling down. And in the pack I have, there's a couple holding grenades with what look like submachine guns, as well as like a sergeant, and then 2 other guys who are holding their M1 Garands upright. So that's the whole 12-man squad. It's 4 guys standing upright, 3 on their knees, 2 guys with grenades, 2 guys holding their guns upright, and then the sergeant, or I guess the squad leader. And then I also, you don't see it in this video, but you'll see it in the final shot of the entire squad that I sprinkled a little bit of this terrain foliage that I got. Unfortunately, I threw away the box, but I think it doesn't have a label. It doesn't have a label either. As I look at the bottles here, it's just leaf foliage that I got from Amazon. It's a 4-pack. It's basically 2 types of green and 2 types of brown. So I used like a mix. It's like a mix of the green and brown. It's a green and brown version. So it looks pretty real. As far as taking in a plastic Army Man and making that look real goes, and yeah, here I was really just slapping this on. It was like a watery mix. I tried batting a little bit of brown to the boots. This is the only guy I did this to. I actually went back into him and added a little bit more, like, yeah, just again doing the brown over again because it was so watered down. It was sort of, it actually didn't like really pull into the recesses, which I was surprised with. I have Army Painter speed paints, and they really just run all over and pull in weird areas. And using the acrylic paint watered down didn't do that so much. It did have some grip to it. So yeah, here I am just getting in a little bit of the tie-in and adding some of that purple, and then gonna bring in the barbarian flesh here in a second. So I didn't have my color, like my wet palette, right in front of the camera. It's off to the side. I didn't really have an idea for setting this up initially, so it was a little makeshift at the time. Just decided I was going to film it and see how it went. So that's why we're getting a commentary and I'm not uploading the full 29 minutes. Although I did think about it as sort of like a Bob Rossi version. But yeah, I definitely see a lot of stuff I can improve upon. I just wanted to get this video done and see how it would look. But the setup was pretty simple. I got a great half hour out of my iPhone. It still had 20% when I was done. It wasn't fully charged, but the iPhone did a great little job. So here he is, complete, semi-complete. I'll post the still images here in a second. Yeah, so here's the first guy is one angle, and here's the other angle of it. It's just basic, again, a basic photo with my camera, and here's a little 3-man squad I did to, test some skin tones, and here's the final bunch with the foliage applied. So yeah, the entire process took about 2.5 hours. Pretty happy with the result. Very cathartic to have it completed. I did 45 minutes a day over the course of 4 days, and editing this video has actually proven to be a lot more difficult than everything else. So thank you for watching if you stuck it out. This is one step in a journey that I want to continue taking, and it's going to just take time to make the videos and to edit them and to get more confident with the entire process. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.